Hey everyone, I'm Mia Magic. Welcome back to the Wizarding World. I want to share with you today a little something that has been really powerful for me throughout my healing journey. I like to create rituals and ceremonies for myself to either release things from my past or transform a pattern within myself or really pay attention to some pain or trauma that I've been feeling. And I think that this is a practice that can be so supportive to all of us regardless of what our pain or trauma is. So I wanted to show you what it looked like for me to create a special healing ceremony for myself, and I hope that it inspires you to bring a little more magic into your life and perhaps accept your pain and love yourself for the places that hurt just a little bit more every day. Oldest and largest living beings on the planet, and it's so quiet. This is heaven. Welcome to heaven. I brought you all here. You're welcome. Take it all in, girl. So this is a really classic example of a family. If they're the same width, that they would have sprouted up at the same time together. And the center will be like a little thicker, and that means that these kind of spread up at its roots, because redwoods, the burl is what like where all the ferns are. It's like kind of like their scar tissue or their seeds. And so that one tree would have started growing, and then like little pockets on the side of it would have sprouted whole new trees, and then these have been growing for over 1,000 years together, standing together, and they help hold each other and lift each other.
It's like, oh, let's all join together. We're a family. We got this.
I feel like because they grow so slowly, their wood has this liquid quality, so you'll start to see like waves of how it will curve over itself and each other, even when they grow together. Like all this is like wavy. It's just so magical. They're just magical. You guys are magical. So this is actually the tree that my tattoo is based off of. This is the dark all in there. So we came up here today to honor the anniversary of my accident that changed my whole life and turned me into a completely different person, and I wanted to share it with you guys because I think that a lot of times we don't know how wounded or traumatized another person is, because not everybody has scars on the outside. You know, I've got one that you can see and it's obvious, but most of us have scars on the inside. Most of us bear our pain without the outside world being able to identify it. And so it's really important to me. Part of my mission, such a big part of why I do the work that I do, is to encourage all of us to be able to alchemize our pain and our traumas and our trials. Today officially marks the year that I've been this adult with dragon skin longer than I was the child without it. And I found this perfect drawing of a princess that I'm gonna release as a symbolic gesture to return that life to these woods, because these woods are what has now, as an adult, allowed me to reclaim my power and my magic, and they've given me so much. I mean, it's hard for me not to just weep every time I walk in here. It's really feeling like there's something about the fact that her heart, they call this the heartwood, like this is the bark, right? And this is the heartwood. You can see where it ends there. The bark is like 1.5 feet thick on a redwood tree. Her entire heart is burned out, and yet she still stands. All that love, right? All that power, all of these years, thousands of years she's been here, and she's not afraid of this fire. She's still here, living, thriving, beautiful branches, green, abundance, eternal life. And that's actually the scientific name of redwoods, is sempervirens, which means eternal life, always living. Yeah, so I know they just like make me, I love you guys. So I'm gonna get out my little cauldron, and I'm going to offer some medicines from other sacred lands, and I'm going to offer it to my sweet mother, sister, teacher, friend here, and leave that child behind, and really honor that we're here making this show, doing this, sharing what feels like heaven on earth to me with you guys, so that hopefully you can be inspired to heal your own pain and create whatever your heaven on earth looks like. Where's north? Sun came up that way, so north is this way. I call upon the watchtowers of north, ancient ones of earth, my sacred, dear ancestors and friends. Allow me to be grounded and eternal the way that you are, to keep my roots firmly planted upon the earth while I rise and lift my head and heart to the skies. Call upon the watchtowers of the east, ancient ones of air, all of the winged ones. Allow us to soar with the higher perspective. Allow us to see clear, bright, laser-focused vision. Allow us to witness the bigger picture. To have any limiting beliefs or negative thought patterns cleared from our minds, passing through like clouds in the afternoon sky. Call upon the watchtowers of the south, ancient ones of fire, that high noon sun, and all of the dragon beings around us. Any limitation or hindrance to my capacity to lead, to just be burned away with this beautiful, small, sacred fire. Now I call upon the watchtowers of the west, ancient ones of water. All the water that has pumped up through this massive sacred vessel, I call upon to be cleansed and purified. I call upon the spirits of above and the spirits of below, any and all the holy and benevolent beings, celestial and terrestrial, ancestors of this sacred land, the Yurok people, all of the deep knowledge that these redwood trees and the magic that they have opened and unfolded and activated within me. I invoke that here and now to honor this day and move forward in a good way. Thank you. The circle is now open. This little princess. Yeah, I particularly like the shoes. Those are the weirdest feet I've ever seen. I used to spend hours drawing princesses like this. I mean, obviously the skill was never honed too well, but I feel like this was such a huge part of who I was as a little girl, as believing in fairy tales, believing in magic, believing that you could live the life of a princess, which wasn't necessarily about like wealth. Princesses were always in fairy tales, so the princesses were the ones who would experience all of this magic. I'm using this as a perfect illustration of that sort of princess energy. There was such a huge part of me that felt like when I had my accident that I would never amount to anything. I would never be a leader. No one would ever listen to me. Nothing that I had to say would ever be valuable to anyone. And that God was punishing me. This, to me, just feels so much like the sort of princess mindset of like something, I need something else. I need the fairy godmother, or I need something external around me to create my wealth or create my magic, or like rely on my parents. And I'm here today now to fully step forward and move into the queen. We've had 100 amazing women in our first round of Wish School, and now we're starting the coaching cauldron, and we're starting our second round, and real life Hogwarts is being built. And I am so ready to move forward in that mission from my embodied queen and release any of the old patterns of princess. We're going to burn some cedar, which is often used for forgiveness. And this is about me forgiving myself for all the ways that I disempowered myself due to what happened to me, like having no idea that it was meant to happen, was designed to happen, was supposed to happen. Offering rose for sweetness and for love and for abundance and pleasure, and for all the ways that I wasn't able to see myself as the queen back then. I'm just honoring all of that. How much beauty has come from so much pain. How much magic has unfolded in my life. This is frankincense. So this was one of the offerings to Jesus. Frankincense comes from a specific type of pine tree. This is a really benevolent, like blessing incense. And then finally, I'm offering cinnamon bark because cinnamon quickens any spell and brings that like spark, that spice, that fire to it. And all the rest of these plants are very like grounded, calming plants. And I just feel so ready to step forward and start a new chapter, especially with Bear and with everything that we're creating. So cinnamon to just light it up. And we also honor you for being burnt, sister, and I will tend to this fire. Bidding farewell to the princess, so I may rise as the queen. From these ashes, let me be reborn, so that I may live my sacred mission to its fullest, to my greatest fulfillment and deepest service. To you, Pachamama. Let every step, every word, every thought, every action, every creation, every manifestation be in service to you and to the magical world that I know is possible. And I release with this fire any of the disempowering beliefs about myself. I'm so grateful to believe in magic. Thank you for all the magic. Thank you for the fairy tale becoming embodied. That's what this fire is for. To let all of the fairy tale just be activated and it's like doing a whole nother round of burning. I hope this video inspires you to help heal your inner child. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Share it if you want your friends to be inspired too. I'm Mia Magic, and you are watching Making Modern Magic.